Arlak tapped his fingers nervously. He'd have gladly given up his life for the liberation of his people. A combine harvester, even a deluxe AI-driven model, was a pittance compared to that. Still, he didn't really understand what he was hearing. I heard you're hooking up my strawberry picker to an air defense cannon. The human technician assembling the gun held up a hand, finishing up some last tweaking of the wire harness. He touched two wires together carefully, and swore when a shower of sparks shot out of the contact. Set back, but not defeated, the man paused his task to answer the farmer's question. See, you're looking at this wrong. It's an AI harvester, and it works great for strawberries, but machines don't really see strawberries. They rate strawberry nests. There's a lot of ways to manage that, but it looks for a generally pointed shape, some seeds, and that nice red colour. So your run-of-the-mill strawberry generally receives an almost perfect strawberryness score, but something like this... His hands dug through all the pockets of his work suit before they finally found their target. He fished out what had been a standard ferroslug, before it was painted bright red and smattered with a handful of black dots. He took a moment to admire it himself, before tossing it to the farmer and continuing. Well, it's not a strawberry, but it scores pretty well for strawberryness. Enough that it gets positive feedback from its alignment unit every time it puts one of these where it's supposed to go. Alex stared at him blankly. So what, you're convincing it to fill a cargo container up with painted bullets? The technician grinned. There's not a limit to how fast it's allowed to fill that container up. At no point did the alignment protocol ever consider that it'd be able to throw a strawberry at Mach 9. And the cargo hold is important, but the rocket it's attached to is more so. You know what looks a lot like a surface-to-orbit rocket? Arlak's brain clicked. They're hypersonic missiles. The grin widened. Arlak himself felt slightly awed to have found the connection. Will it work? The human nodded. It's damn near the only thing that can. To shoot down something going that fast, that low, you either need a dummy missile that can brute force outrun it, or enough computing power to hack a station. The Alliance is too chicken shit to send over their actual military AIs, but these myopic-type digibrains are supposed to be safe for civilian use, because the idea of convincing your tractor that a bullet is a strawberry, and a WMD is a cargo loader, was a little too creative for the morons over at John Deere Galactic. And if that digibrain just so happens to function near the exoflop level, they're going to have a hard time sneaking anything larger than a bee through this airspace. The alien's hands went over his crest as his mind reeled. They're not the only ones who would never think of this. It's brilliant. I never would have considered it. The tech shrugged good-naturedly, and went back to retrieve the two ends of wire that he'd dropped earlier. It's not coming from nowhere. There's something of a human tradition about using farm equipment for war. I'm just lucky to be part of the next evolution in this. The Reaper himself only used a scythe. Now I get to use a combine harvester.